Yo, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Nuke. Man, I'm back with another video. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't really know how many people I'm gonna get to watch this YouTube video, but it is what it is. This video is gonna be really, really long. If I can make it that long. So just bear with me. Again, if y'all can hear music, gunshots, dogs barking. I mean, I'm in the country, so all that is legal in the country. All right, so I'm gonna talk about my spiritual journey and how I'm chosen and stuff like that. So we're gonna start off in high school, okay? Now it's crazy because where I was living at, right? I was living with my grandparents, my grandparents at the time. And my grandparents, I kind of felt closer to my grandparents than my mom and dad. If they'll tell you that they raised me, but I mean, they didn't really raise me. I feel like I was raised more by my grandparents. I stayed with my grandparents, every weekend as a child. And then when my, parents were at home, they didn't really pay no attention to me. I had my video games, I had my friends, I had everything. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they just didn't really pay no attention to me. Literally when I was in middle school, I used to play football. For people that don't know, I used to play football. I played receiver, corner. I was basically an athlete. So what I would do is after middle school, because I don't know where everybody else at in the world, but middle school for me used to get out at 4:00. So I get off at 4, right, and go to my grandparents' house. My grandparents live kind of, I guess, right next door. Not right next door, but if you walk, it's like a 3-minute walk. Okay, put it this way. They basically lived on the same street, right? Okay. I'm sorry if you can hear that squeaking, by the way. That's my shoe. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's not torn or anything. It's just squeaks. I think the bubble in the back of my heel popped. But anyways, okay, fast forward, right? So yeah, I used to be at my grandparents' house, right after middle school, go to football practice at 6, be there till 8:15. Now, if my mom, so at the time, I guess my mom and dad, so my dad had my mom's car, right? Because I guess my dad didn't have no car at the time. So my dad would come pick my mama up and me up, and we would just go home. Not one time how I got how school was, how football practice was. Silent the whole way home. I went home, took a shower, ate, went in my room and either studied or played the game, went to sleep, and it was a cycle. And I would basically stay over at my grandma's house. If I had a home game or if I had an away game, I would stay at my grandma's house. That's just how it was. Anyway, so high school, right? I mean, as a kid, I just kind of felt out. I just kind of left out. I just kind of felt left out from everything. I mean, I was a kid. You really don't really know anything as a kid, but as you get older, you just kind of feel like you left out. You know what I'm saying? So as a kid, I felt left out. I felt unwanted. I felt just like walls are closing in on me. And you how you felt like that as a kid. You a kid, you don't really know nothing. I just felt loneliness, man. I had friends, but I just kind of felt lonely. I'm not gonna sit here and say I was in my mind a lot, but that's kind of what it was. I was overthinking a lot. I don't overthink as much anymore. I'm quick to think on my feet now, but I would always overthink as a child. Even when I played sports, I would overthink. If I get the ball in my mind, even though I know what to do with it, it's kind of my world slowed down. And I was like, dang, because I played quarterback too. So I'm like, dang, who should I throw it to? Where should I throw it? It was just all types of just overthinking, right? So high school came. Now it's funny because the two high schools that was close to me, so like on my side of the street where my grandma lived at, they were zoned for the high school that I ended up going to long term. Across the street was the other high school, so I wanted to go to the other high school. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wanted to go to the other high school. I just felt more home at their football team was better. And I wanted to think like long term, like, okay, what football team is going to be better for me? For colleges I want to go to, this, that, and the third. Okay, cool. I didn't end up going to that. Well, I ended up going to that school to find out that there's no buses that go to that school. Like, there's no buses that can pick me up, take me home, et cetera, right? So, even though, my grandma, because obviously I wasn't driving at the time, my grandma was like, yeah, I'll take you to school and pick you up every day, which that wasn't the case. And, my father at the time, now my father and my mom, they weren't split up. It was just easier for my mom because along the way, my mom had lost her car, this, that, and the third, and my dad ended up getting his own car. But it was better for my mom to live with my grandma because my mom was living with my grandma too. So it was better for my mom to live with my grandma because she could just basically walk to work, walk home, easy. Instead of my dad coming over here, getting off work. You know what I'm saying? Like getting off work, or because I think my dad had worked early in the morning too. So he wasn't going to be able to time manage. So anyway, my grandma got mad and she basically was like, no, you need to, I'm not taking him to school no more, to my mom. She was like, you need to, zone him for. So I didn't even go to school for like a week. Then I ended up going to the school that I didn't want to go to. I just felt like the school was like cursed or something. I don't know why. I just didn't feel right at that school. I didn't feel right all 4 years, to be honest. So anyways, I get to school. I'm like depressed. I don't even want to be there, bro. Because like I said, I didn't want to go to that school. I didn't want to be there. The first day, I almost get into a fight at school, right? In the first week at school, I kid you not. So my school was like brand new. So my school had some money, right? They had money. So my school, when iPads were out, or I think it was like the second generation of iPads, something like that, some type of iPad that was out, right? The iPads came out, right? Now, I'm at football practice now because I told you I play football. I'm either at football practice or I'm on a bus coming home, right? Because I think I'm going back to my grandma's house. Because it was weird, man. Like the timeline for everything is weird because I also lived with my parents, right? And then I ended up living with my grandma again. It was weird. Like I lived with my parents, I lived with my grandma, and I was like kind of like back and forth. It was weird. No family business going on, no divorce, no nothing like that. That's just what it was at the time. I don't know if my parents were just going through financial issues or whatever. But I was either on the bus coming home or I was either going to my grandma's house. I had a police come to my mom's house or my parents' house. And I had the assistant principal go to my grandma's house. And then my mom gets home, right? And my mom's pressing me. She's like, oh, you got iPads. And I was like, what? And she's like, nah, you got iPads. Let me know, where the iPad's at. And I'm like, Mom, what are you talking about? She you stole iPads in the school, calling me and telling me that they're going to arrest you. I said, Mom, I just got to the school. I don't have any iPads. Right? And then my mom was trying to sweet talk me and was like, if you got the iPads, just give them up. I'm like, Mom, I don't have no iPads. Right? Which is crazy to me because it's you believe the school system over your son. I don't have no iPads. I just got there. Right? Okay. So fast forward, right? Turns out that obviously I didn't have no iPads because, again, where am I steal these iPads at? And if iPads had to, follow my, like, or the locator or whatever it's called, like find my iPhone, that type of thing, you would know that I had the iPads or not. Well, turns out some dude, I guess, who was bigger than me had on the same kind of like outfit, kind of like shorts. I think I had like some jean shorts on and a hoodie. Apparently he had on like the same outfit, which I never got an apology, by the way, for it. So if I would have just sued the school, I would have got money, but I never did it. My mom never pressed anybody at the school or anything like that. So, which it just went away. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Now in class, for some odd reason, like I was smart, but I didn't care about school. Fun fact, I even asked my mom, can I drop out of school? Don't drop out of school. Okay, finish school. But I even asked my mom at some point, can I drop out of school? Because I was just school was just boring, man. Like, and to me, if I wasn't playing sports, I just didn't like school. I really didn't like anybody at the school. Like, man, the school was like horrible for me. Okay, and then comes like my sophomore year, and I'm on varsity, by the way, at the end of the football season. So my sophomore year, I was on JV because for some odd reason, I had some issues with freshman year, so they didn't let me play high school football. So at the time, I was playing, I was playing City League, right? Won a championship, and now mind you, I'm young, so I'm 12 during the season, and after the season, I'm 13. So, yeah, it is what it is. They changed the rule now, but you can't do that now. But whatever. Okay. Anyways, right? So, sophomore year I played. I went up to varsity. So my junior year I'm on varsity, right? Like you supposed to be. I met this girl, right? Now, there's a story time about her that I'm gonna tell you later. But anyways, I met this girl. She ended up being, my football coach, like my head football coach's daughter, which I didn't know at the time. So I was trying to call it off, but I was in too deep, right? And she ended up loving me. Now, fast forward, right? We going through problems, right? My coach is blaming me for her grades slipping because she's with me, which is crazy to me because I've always been the type of person to, I've always felt like I've been put last. I've never been put first in nobody's life. That's just facts with me, right? But my thing is this: if you got important stuff to do, right? You got an exam, you got stuff that you need to do, you got work, whatever. Put that first and then put me first. And then you know what I'm saying? And then have time for me. Like have time for me, right? Like, don't leave me hanging. Have time for me, but just let me know, like, hey, my fault. I was, I'm out shopping, or I had to take an exam, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? Like, communicate. But it was all my fault, right? Everything was my fault. Nah, this man thought I was some type of doing drugs, dealing them, selling them. Now, mind you, I'm on this football team. I'm either at practice or I'm at work, which I had a job at the time. I worked at McDonald's. That was my first job, right? So I don't know where I'm getting this drug money from when I'm working for it, but okay. So 11th grade was really hard for me. My grandparents, or my grandpa, he was having health issues. Just found out that he had prostate cancer. It was really tough, man. For me, like I said, I was still depressed. Like which I could tell this in another story time too. People would call my house, like hang up. Like now, mind you, I don't even know how these people even got my number, but they would call my house, bro. Some people would send the police to my house. And yeah, mind you, my like where my grandma stayed at, she stayed on the road, right? You can either go pretty much east or west. So people knew where I live at. So people would call my house, get the police involved at my house. Now I got to talk to the police about other stuff. I got to talk to the police. Like if there's a couple incidents where people thought I was going to, take my own life. So the police was called on me and they checked me and stuff like that, bro. It was annoying, man. It was annoying. So, fast forward to my senior year, right? I'm still depressed. Fun fact, I could have left the school that I went to go to the other school that I really wanted to go to. But like I said, I was already in a relationship. I was in too deep. I didn't have that that like factor to break up with her. To be like, listen, look, we need to separate because our relationship is rocky. And it wasn't rocky because of us. It was rocky because of her dad. Now, okay. Now, this other girl jumped into the picture, right? Now, for the record, I did not cheat, right? I never kissed this girl, never touched her. Yes, I talked to her, but it was, which, like I said, I could tell this story, like, a little bit later, man. Okay, but there was another girl that came into the picture, right? Now, I guess you could say that I was like, quote unquote, entertaining it, but this girl was insane, okay? It was on the verge of like, if you don't talk to me, I'm gonna end my life. That's what she said. And I still got the messages to prove it too. But hey, this is just what it was. That's just what it is. Now, the version of me now, I would definitely just block her. Like I said, I didn't have that like oomph to block her, man, because I really felt sorry for her. Like, bro, I really, really felt sorry for her. And like I said, I didn't have no contact with her. I never got on the phone with her. I never even liked her. She knew I had a girlfriend the whole time, right? So, one of my friends, I guess, started talking to her. I wanted him to talk to her so she could get off me, right? And I guess he ended up making her mad. So she ended up telling the office that me and my friend basically sexually harassed her. Or not harassed, but like, I guess sexually harassed her. Yeah, sexually harassed her, right? Okay, whatever, right? So I go up to the office. I'm literally like, no, this is what happened. This, that, and the third, whatever, right? There's a cop in there too. He trying to like ask me how old I am. And I'm like, bro, I don't have to give you that. Like, leave me alone. You feel me? Like now, like, cause I'm 38 hot at this point. Cause I'm like, bro, y'all bringing me up here. I'm like, if that's the case, if y'all don't believe me, cause like I said, it was kind of like they're believing her over me. I'm like, bro, if y'all don't believe me, bro, y'all can just expel me from the school. I really don't care. Like, I really don't care. And mind you, my principal was black. So she kind of had that like, but she was like a mom too. So she kind of had that like mom to kid interaction. Like, I mean, my school mascot was the Hawk. So everybody would call her Mama Hawk. Dope principal, by the way. I just think she didn't play that tomfoolery, which, like I said, okay, that's fine. You don't believe me? Ma'am, cut it all out. Expel me. Send me to another school. And that's what I really wanted. I really told her to expel me. I'm like, send me to another school, please. Like, I'm begging you. I don't want to be here anyway. And that's what I told her. I'm like, I don't want to be here anyway. Right? Like I said, you could, obviously, she could search my name in the system. She was like, you got good grades. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you would do something like this. I said, I didn't do it though. Like, I really didn't do it. Right? So, man, I ended up like leaving. I ended up like slamming the door, leaving, bro, because I was like pissed off, right? Now, it got to my football coach because, like I said, if you're a football player, you know that somehow, some way, it's gonna get back to him. So, guess what? We sat in the office. Well, we sat in like a classroom because I had my other coach, my wide receiver coach. Shout out to Coach Jones. Had him in there too, right? And next thing you know, I apologize that you can't see me because I'm like walking around outside. Yeah, I can't really tell it inside because I'd be too loud. So, okay, anyways, so like I said, we had a talk, right? And he asked me the question, did I have any, contact with her? The S contact with her. I said, no. I said, listen, look, I'm dating your daughter. So, or at least I'm thinking I am. So why would I disrespect you, disrespect me, disrespect your daughter? That's just crazy to me, right? Now, this man didn't like me for dating your daughter. Okay, cool. Now, fun fact, you could have just told me to not be with her. That would have been, like the logical thing to do, right? But he didn't. And the thing is, right? So You asked me, I told you no. Told you no, I told you what it was. It should have just been left alone like that. Well, he gets home to his house and flips the narrative. Now, mind you, my girlfriend had my mom's number, right? Because I was calling her off my mom's number. I didn't have a phone until I got a job, right? But next thing you know, right? Like I said, I told you this video is gonna be long. Next thing you know, right? So he's flipping the narrative. Now, my girlfriend at the time calls my mom, talked to her for like an hour or two. And my mom was like, no, he's not cheating on you. Now, fun fact about me and my mom, I told my mom, I'm like, listen, look, if I go down for anything and if I did it, if the police come over, don't even lie for me, bro. Just let me take the L on the chin like a man. You feel me? That's just how I am. That's who I've always been. I've always stood on that. So anyways, right? So back to that. Anyways, I ended up like breaking my arm senior year. So I fell into a depression because I lost a lot of stuff that I work hard for, like scholarships and stuff like that, and everything, right? So I got the police called on me again because somebody thought I was going to end my life. Obviously, I'm still here. So whatever, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, I ended up fighting this woman. Right, well, fun fact, I spent like 3 days in somewhere, which, like I said, that's another story, man. I got stories for days, man. Spent like a month in there. Supposed to be 3 days. Spent like a month in there. Next thing you know, I get out. I go back to my grandma's house. Like I'm living at my grandma's house at this point until I go to school. Next thing you know, this police pulls up at my house, gives me this woman's card, right? And he's like, yeah, she really needs help. If you're into computers, she could use your help, right? And she can help you get your life back on track. I called her immediately, ASAP, no Rocky, called her. Next thing you know, she comes to my house and she knows my grandma. Now, I didn't have the best relationship with my grandma, right? My grandma was always at my throat for like no reason, for like the smallest stuff, right? This lady knows my grandma, and I'm just like, bro, my mind is going down again. Like my mind is down, like spiraling down again, man. It's so crazy. Then we get in her car. She's like, I didn't know that was your grandma. I'm like, yeah, we don't even have the best relationship, whatever. And yeah, mind you, like I'm fighting all these thoughts, all this sadness and stuff in my mind, right? So like I say, anyways. Fast forward, right? We're gonna fast forward to like, I had like a big fight at my grandma's house, but we're gonna fast forward that until I went to college. I ended up getting a girlfriend and stuff. Ended up having friends that wasn't really messing with me. Anyway, we're gonna fast forward to like 2019-ish, 2018, 2019-ish, right? Because all this was taking place in 2015, 16, and 17, right? All that high school jibber jabber, right? Okay, so I'm sorry that stuff was taking place in 16, 17, and 18. So we're gonna fast forward to 2019. Like I'm out of high school now, and stuff like that. So anyways, I get back into, I came back home from school, right? Now I had these friends, right? I had a friend, I had cousins, and I had a girlfriend back home, right? These people, I was hanging out with them before I left, right? Type, and then next thing you know, bro, I didn't have that, like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have that, like, friend that would call me every day. I mean, yeah, at the time my girlfriend would call me, but, like, I don't know, man. It was just weird. Like, our relationship got all wonky. It was weird. Anyways, because she ended up cheating on me. But like I said, that's a story for another day. I came back home because I was a little bit, again, I was still depressed. I was more depressed, leaving home for the first time ever. Next thing you know, right? Next thing you know, like I said, all these holes I'm gonna fill in, So, I'm jumping timeline to timeline. All these holes I'm gonna fill in. But next thing you know, I come back home, right? Now I told you I had a big fight with my family. My mom's side of the family actually. So I had a big fight with them, right? I left, I went to school in North Carolina. I was there for like a semester, but I was depressed. I came back home because, like I said, I wasn't contacting nobody. I was just minding my own business, doing everything I need to do to get in and out of school, right? Okay, so one day my grandma had called me, right? And she was like, "Oh, you don't call anymore." And I'm like, "Well, I'm in school, so I'm always busy," which I always was busy. I was playing football, class, trying to balance all that time because, like I said, I didn't have no time management. I didn't know how to balance all that out as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, and I was like, "How's my grandpa?" Right? And she's like, "No, you're not. He's not doing too good, whatever." So I'm like, "Yeah, I need to come back home." Because like when I was in college in North Carolina, I was always having dreams of my family, or at least my grandparents passing away. I always have it like every other Wednesday. So from August to December, I was having dreams about my grandparents passing away. Like I said, I didn't really know what it was. I didn't really know I was chosen and stuff like that. I didn't know. My mentor, the woman that I worked for, she told me, but like at that time, I just really didn't believe it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't hear those words when you're a child. You feel me? Anyways, so I came back home, right? And I never forget. And this is where the story gonna end. So thank y'all for actually tuning in and kind of, like I said, there's a lot of holes. I know y'all probably got a lot of questions. There's a lot of holes, man. I know. I'm sorry, but it's like too much into detail. And I'm the type of person that can really, really go into detail about something. Okay, so I get home, right? And my girlfriend at the time, right? I walked down to her job because her house is down the street from my job. Okay, so my grandpa passes away in like June-ish, right? I had one friend who I ended up not speaking to anymore, not because of my grandpa passing away, but just because we just kept falling out. We kept getting into arguments about stuff. Ended up living with him at the time too. Moved out like 2 weeks after. It just was terrible. But I ended up falling out with him. I don't even talk to him no more. I talked to him like, I think, like last year. And that was it. I had like 1 or 2 conversations and that was it. But anyways, yeah. So after that, I just kind of left the scene, whatever, But anyways, a couple months later, in 2019, I'm at my girlfriend's job and I'm like breaking down crying, right? And my girlfriend was like, "What's wrong?" Now, mind you, me and my girlfriend's relationship was already on the fritz, right? Because like I told you, she had cheated on me, right? But I just ended up breaking down crying. I'm like, "Yo, bro, I know my grandma's gonna pass away." Like I felt it that day, like my grandma was gonna pass away. And she came back home from the hospital, but like she was like sick and stuff like that, and she was just going through it, man. But yeah, I was crying and I'm like, "Yeah, man, I know my grandma gonna pass away, dog. Like she's gonna die, And next thing you know, I left because she was on break. That's when I was talking to her, And I seen me coming up, like, so where my grandma lived at, she still lived in the same house, like all these years. Like when I was in high school and college and stuff, all these years she still lived in the same house. Because I guess she knew the woman really well. So down the street, you have to cross like the intersection, right? So I'm coming up from my ex-girlfriend's job. Coming up, I see the ambulance coming down the street, turning on the street, and now I gotta walk over this like little hill, and I noticed they stopped. And next thing you know, I was like, dang, they either stopped at the house next door because there was an old gentleman living next door. They stopped at my grandma's house. So I got there. 10 minutes later, she passed away. I walked out. Now, like that month, like I moved back with my parents. Like I said, I was about to go to school. I ended up, whatever, right? So I actually ended up breaking up with my girlfriend. I had a whole like argument with my friends, like 2 of my cousins, my ex-friend girlfriend at the time, my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend and stuff like that. We all was in a group chat arguing. And everybody was like against me. So like, you know, I was like, hey, bro, I'm done being y'all. I'm not cool with none of y'all no more, right? And next thing you know, I ended up moving to another area. I was still in Florida. I just ended up moving to another area. And bro, like I got this weird feeling that somebody followed me every day. Every day I came from work, I had this feeling that somebody was following me, dog. Like, it was so weird. And I ended up going back to school, you know, because like I said, I had this weird feeling, bro, that somebody was following me. I don't know what it was. I just had this feeling that somebody was following me, man. Anyways, I got closer to God. I got closer to every, like, you know, people that actually like really, really like, you know, loved me. To this day, I never really thought about, you know, like ending my own life and stuff like that. I'm infatuated with death, but like I said, that's another video. But I never really ended up thinking about nothing like that again, you know. And I got better, and that's when I really, really realized, like, that's like my whole story of like when I really realized that I was chosen. Because all that stuff kept happening to me. Like, I'm not cool with my family, really. I don't really speak to them, but like, in a couple months, y'all gonna know, I'm gonna have another story time. In a couple months, I'm gonna have another story time. But I don't really speak to them as much. And, you know, yeah, the only people I'm really close to is like 2-3 people. And those people are like not in my family at all. No, I would say 4 people. No, I would say about 6 people, about 7 people that I'm close to. You know, and like I said, I never really like, I don't know, man. I just don't really speak to my family anymore. I'm the type of person, like, if you mess with somebody that I don't really like, or like I don't really mess with, I don't really talk to, I don't think I can mess with you either. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like, that's my little like journey. Like I said, I know there's a lot of holes. I'm gonna fill them in throughout like the years, stuff like that. Man, 2024 is coming to an end, y'all. And everything like that, man. So, but like I said, I'm sorry about like the holes and stuff, and like me jumping timeline to timeline. But like I said, I will fill in them holes. But anyways, man, that's my like little success story, like a little journey story. I'm still on that journey, by the way. I've never gotten off of it. But anyways, man, that's it. I have more story times in the future. Anyways, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. It's your boy Nuke, and I'm out.